Good night, lizard. You have a good one. Oh my god, what? What the fuck was that? Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood Badger here, and I am back for an update as to how my Ultimatum League is going. What are we? It's I guess day 4 now, day 3, day 4 of the league, and I've been playing in hardcore trade, as a lot of you know. Now, the first character that you may have seen me do an update for after my 24-hour stream was a Reap and Exsanguinate Spellslinger Inquisitor. And unfortunately, I played a little bit after the fact, after I woke up off stream, and promptly ripped that character to Legion. And I don't even have a clip to show you of that one, unfortunately. But I re-rolled a new character on stream and leveled that up, and it ended up being a Hierophant with Arcanist brand using Exsanguinate. So still using the new skills. And it turned out really, really well. So it's doing quite strong, and, Standard League, it says up there. Yes, I ripped this character too, unfortunately. You may have seen the clip at the start of the video. However, the character is quite strong. I basically just jumped into way too much damage, which I shouldn't have jumped into. We're sitting at level 80. We've got 4k health, about 1,000 energy shield, 3.3k mana, 40% mind over matter through mind over matter here, and then the mind over matter from divine guidance here, and then like a 2,000 shield arcane cloak here as well, which is really nice. And obviously it all looks quite pretty with all this new MTX from the loot boxes there, which are pretty awesome loot boxes, I do say. However, gamble responsibly. They are pretty much gambling. But let's showcase this build. As I said, Arcanist brand is actually working really well with Exsanguinate. Now, I've played around with Arcanist brand a lot before. Those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically a brand that lets you socket in another spell to it, and that brand will, the Arcanist brand will attach to an enemy and cast the spell while it's attached to enemies. Now, a big thing that I found in the past with Arcanist brand is the cast time, the activation time. As you can see, the bottom line there activates every 0.85 seconds while attached. Now, this is quite low compared to normal cast speed on skills themselves and everything like that. If I actually take Arcanist brand out itself, we can see that my cast time is, 0.7, and then this goes to, as I said, the Arcanist brand goes to 6.3 when I start moving and everything like that, but then that goes up higher even then. So basically, it's casts your abilities slower and everything like that. However, one thing with Exsanguinate and Reap as well, we have been playing around with Reap, is that it only stacks up to 3 damage over time with Exsanguinate. So basically it says the debuff stacks up to 3 times on enemies. And this means we don't have to worry too much. If we scale the damage over time, we don't need to worry too much about hitting as many times as we can, just as long as we're always hitting that cap of the full damage right there, right? So that's basically how the build goes. We just run around, we drop our Arcanist brands down, and then we just keep playing. So let's run a map, shall we? Let's run, say for example, look, it's only a tier 5, but that's kind of what I'm up to on this character at level 80. We'll run a tier 5 promenade map, and we'll go into it. Now, the links that we're using in a tabular right here is a Exsanguinate and Arcanist brand linked to Efficacy, Controlled Destruction, Brutality, and Chain for clearing. And then we swap in a Swift Affliction for single target as well if we do need to. But this whole demonstration here will just be with Chain. So let's jump in, shall we? Obviously, I am on standard, so I have quite a few of these missions here. So let's jump in. It's actually really, really good for ultimatums, the brand playstyle, because you're just chucking down brands and running around in a circle, which means that you're really hard to hit. You're not, stopping, trying to focus on tough enemies or anything like that. And obviously, we are supporting with Corrupting Fever at the moment. Now, I don't have other supports on Corrupting Fever, which I really should. So as you can see here, they jump on. The one big downside with this this build is not anything to do with its playstyle or anything to do with the ability itself or how much damage it does, but actually how the ability looks. As you can see here, we can't really see much that's going on with the chaining of the Exsanguinate or anything like that. However, as you're probably seeing here, it's relatively smooth, everything that we're doing. We'll skip Zana there. Bye-bye, Zana. We don't really need to do that one. And you can see here that on this Rogue Exile, things die very quickly as well over there. Let's see if we can find an Ultimatum, and I can show you guys the strats there as well. So if you were planning to build this build, I would very much recommend giving it a go. Now, you don't have to go the Mind Over Mana route. If you're in softcore, I'd very much actually recommend doing this on a Trickster to get some skill effect duration and even more damage over time through there and everything like that. Now, the great thing about Corrupting Fever is it does apply because brands do actually count as you dealing the damage. So Corrupting Fever does apply on enemies. So I can pop Corrupting Fever, I can put down my vulnerability, and then I can just do that, and then just watch them die right there. And they'll just tank right on down, which is really, really nice. So I'll just pick up that one right there. I think we actually missed the ultimatum, so maybe we'll just talk a little bit more as we jump back through and try and find the ultimatum here. So that's how the build functions, right? Now, the downsides to the build, as I said, it's mainly just a visual thing. Actually, in the ultimatum, I can show you something else. I was playing around with Reap. So Reap can function fairly well in this build as well. So I'll actually swap Reap back in. And I'll actually put, instead of Chain, we'll put Spell Cascade. Now, the one big good thing about Reap is it looks much better to actually use in Arcanist brand here. As you can see, you can actually see the scythes doing things, which is pretty cool. Turns out the damage is a lot less on Reap, unless we do like some stacking stuff with like an Unleash Reap to stack up the blood charges, which we can do. But I've done the number calculations, and Exsanguinate actually still is a lot more damage through all of that, which is pretty interesting. So that's the build there. Now, you may have seen a bit of a cut there. That's because I was trying to find the ultimatum in that map, and then obviously I realized that we're not in Ultimatum League anymore. We're in Standard. So that actually means that there is no ultimatum. So I can't showcase the ultimatum for you, but trust me when I say it is quite good, this build in ultimatums. That's all I really have to say. I am now leveling up a General's Cry champion, which my build guide is all for. We're getting a message from Standard here for buying things, but I'm not going to respond to them right now because I'm doing this video. But thank you so much for watching. That's all I really have to say. I'm going to be releasing basically a guide to the two mechanics that I think have been changed the most in Ultimatum, which is Incursion, and then doing a guide to Betrayal as well once we know the full extent to all of the level 4 rooms in Betrayal there. So I'll be releasing guides in the next couple of days for all of that. Thank you so much. Keep being awesome, all of you. I love you all, and until next time, Badger, out.